that includes kind of the Mindfulness for Health course, components of that, but has a total of 9 pillars. Mark has just put the link so that you can get more information about this. So it's 2 hours a week. Where are my little notes? On Zoom from 6:30 to 8:30 Greenwich Mean Time. So wherever you are in the world, if you're not on Greenwich Mean Time or British Summertime, find out what that is for you, and it's that. And if you sign up for it, you get to kind of hold on to that material. You have a lifetime of access to the material. So you'd get to be with Vidyamala once a week. There'll be all sorts of practices and conversations about the importance of sleep and developing good habits, all of which are things that you can also incorporate your mindfulness practice in. The cost is £369 sterling. I'm sure that there are ways to pay that in, what do you call it, installments. And there's going to be a maximum of 40 people, 40 people attending that. So if you're interested, have a look at that link or copy that link or go onto the Community of Practice and get a bit more information that's been posted there to see if it's something that you think would help cultivate your mindfulness practice. I suppose it's really most suitable for people with chronic health conditions, with pain and so on. No, Vidyamala is not here today. She was feeling really tired. So I'm Karen. Hello. Yeah, it's worth having a look at to kind of support your practice if you've done the Mindfulness for Health course before. And if you're not sure about the Mindfulness for Health course, it's also something that will benefit you if you live with stress or, yeah, some other changes in your life. Anyway, that's enough about that. We're going to do some meditation now. So I'm going to invite you to consider what posture you want to adopt for the next half an hour. If you've chosen to sit, just be aware that you can change that posture at any point if it becomes uncomfortable. So you don't have to really stay married to that position if your back starts to hurt or anything becomes uncomfortable. And if you're feeling really, really tired, even if you're feeling a little bit sleepy, risk lying down and seeing what it's like to just take that pressure of gravity off your spine, off your knees, whatever posture you've got, and really allowing yourself to surrender to gravity. That's my invitation. Oh, you're very welcome, Michelle. Again, if you're having hot weather where you are, I would encourage you to have some water before you start. We function well when we're hydrated, so stay hydrated. Okay. Well, yeah, I was just talking to Mark before we began as well about this terrible, terrible incident that happened in Stockport and the deaths of these 3 children. And I know we're a community of people who feel these things so keenly. You know, their loss is our loss. And for anybody affected by that, my heart goes out to you, to them. And yeah, of course, all of our hearts are broken for the people who are affected by this. So perhaps we can keep that whole community, all those families in our thoughts, in our practice this evening as we go ahead. Okay. I'm going to sound these tingshaws once, and that indicates the beginning of the practice. And at the very end, I'll sound them 3 times. So if you've drifted off and you've lost track of the practice, this will be the indication that we've finished. Yeah. So I'm going to sound it once. And if you'd like to close your eyes, you're welcome to do that. If you prefer not to close your eyes for whatever reason, then allow your gaze to rest, unfocused, somewhere in front of you or at your feet, on the tip of your nose, or just down around your knees. And if you're wearing glasses, I'd really invite you to remove those glasses and Any pressure that's on the temples or the bridge of your nose, just remove that. If anyone's suddenly thinking, I forgot to switch off my phone, then you can turn it to mute so you won't be disturbed. Just allow yourself to settle into this posture. Is there anything that you need to do? Do you need to put some sort of rolled up towel or a cushion behind your lower back to support your spine? Do you need to put something soft under your feet if you're sitting? Or under your knees if you're lying down to take the pressure off your back? That can sometimes be really helpful. If you're a little bit too hot, do you need to take off a layer or throw off a blanket or a shawl that you're covering yourself with? Just notice any of those signals that your body is giving you and respond to them. And you might notice that your mind is a little bit busy for whatever reason. And that's just the mind doing what the mind does, wondering what's going to happen next. Are we there yet? Am I doing this right? If you feel a little bit restless or fidgety, just notice that. This practice is giving us the opportunity to really inhabit the present moment without judgment, with curiosity, and with kindness. Kindness towards ourselves. So if there's any little inner voice commentating, just notice that. Oh, look what my mind is doing. If you wander off on some train of thought, when you notice that, that's a moment of mindfulness, of the mind doing what the mind does and coming back to this moment. Maybe there's an anchor we can find to this moment, something that allows us to stay here now. Perhaps for some of us, that's our breath blowing in and out. There's a famous quote from a Zen monk about breathing. What we call I is just a swinging door which moves when we inhale and when we exhale. Just noticing that swinging door as we inhale and as we exhale. And if that's something you're comfortable doing, just stay with your breath. But if your breath is something you don't like to focus on, then maybe begin to pay attention to the sounds in your soundscape. What can you hear just now? Allowing yourself to listen. Maybe as you notice your breath, you can also notice the sounds around you. Might be the sounds of birds or traffic, people's voices, engines, televisions, rainfall or a breeze through the trees. Maybe you can hear the sound of your breath or your heart beating or your belly rumbling. You You might notice that the sounds are constantly coming and going, just like the breath, coming and going. This moment, it's here and then it's gone. And we're walking along this moment like a tightrope, not letting our thoughts throw us off balance or our emotions push us off. Just concentrating on what we can hear, on the breath, or maybe the sensation of our feet, wherever they are, on the floor or on the mattress. What's happening now? Are you tempted to check your phone or go and make a cup of tea? Is there a sensation that needs to be tended to? We can scan this moment, notice if there's anything that we need to do, or are there thoughts, is the mind trying to distract us? I forgot to do this. Better do that now. That's just a thought. Let that thought come and go, like the sounds you heard earlier. Perhaps now your attention and your presence is here. It's come into land in this moment. And this is a great opportunity to just check. Is there anything that requires your attention? Is there some pain somewhere in your body? Is there anything that you're quite clenched around? Is there any tension that you hold habitually somewhere that could be released and let go consciously? Maybe your jaws are tightly clamped together, or your tongue is pushed up against the roof of your mouth. And if that's true for you, just opening your jaws a little apart, gently waggling your lower jaw, letting your tongue rest softly on the floor of your mouth. Noticing how the face softens when we do that. Maybe there's a frown across your forehead, between your eyebrows, some thought or emotion or pain that's blocking that there. Maybe you can turn towards that a little bit and breathe into whatever that is, your back or your gut or your leg, a joint inside your head or your ear, wherever it might be. Just breathing into that part of your body, or even placing a hand gently on that part of your body. If you're feeling very emotional or have some pain there, just gently connecting with your heart. Kindly, a kindly touch. As you breathe in, imagine that breath is flowing into your body, into your lungs, and carried by your heart all over the body. Imagine some of that life-giving oxygen flowing to wherever that is. The heart pumping hot, oxygenated, nutrient-laden blood all over the body to wherever there's tightness or pain, flushing it, flushing away waste materials, bringing heat, softening tight muscles. You notice you're sucking in your gut or you're holding your shoulders up quite high towards your ears. Just gently let them go. Let your hands be soft, resting on your lap, letting your shoulders flow down towards the mattress or the cushion or the floor. Lean against the chair. Let your gut be soft. Let go of your legs. So there's no effort in those weight-bearing, hard-working tissues and joints and muscles. Just letting the seat or the mattress or the sofa support you wherever you are. Maybe it's quiet around you. Maybe the sounds have changed. You can tune in whenever you want to the soundscape. What can I hear now? And not straining to hear, but allowing the sounds to just reach you, reach your ears and your eardrums. Maybe for you, there's white noise, there's tinnitus, there's some other sound that feels like interference. Perhaps we can even turn towards that with interest and curiosity. Is that in both ears? Is it always the same? Does it become louder or softer? Is it intermittent or constant? Curious about this. Can I also hear my breathing? Or birds? Or this voice guiding this practice? If you're sitting or standing, just notice if your spine is long or if it's begun to slump or slouch or tilt to one side. And allow your spine to lengthen as if somebody was just gently pulling you up through your crown, the top of your head. Not rigidly, uncomfortably, just effortlessly long. That can be another anchor. And if you begin to slouch forward to the side, you can notice, does that mean the breath becomes more shallow? Less deep because the lungs are collapsed down onto the belly. Each breath, we almost inflate ourselves, lengthen the spine, allow the body to have an almost royal, regal posture. Where are we? We're here now. What's the mind doing? If it's wandered into a memory or into the future or some imagined story, just gently invite it back into the sensations of the feet on the floor, through your soles or your heels, against the cushion or the mattress. Feel, really notice what's underneath your feet. A pillowcase, a soft cushion, a carpet or a rug, wood or stone. And if there's any discomfort in any particular pressure point, you can move your feet a little bit. You can reduce that pressure. Feet are numb. If there's no sensation there, just noticing that. And if you're really curious, what do my feet feel like? You can just softly, gently curl and uncurl your toes, point them away from you or pull them towards you. And just notice what your feet actually feel like when they're moving. And then pause. How do they feel when they're still? Is there tingling or a pulse? Are you more aware of one side than the other? What draws that awareness there? Temperature, sensation, discomfort. And then very deliberately bring your attention to the other foot. Can you feel the inner sides, the outer sides? You feel the curved shape of the heels or the soft padded part of the balls of your feet. All those muscles and joints, the toes, those important parts of the bodies that allow us to move around, connect with the ground. We can take a moment, perhaps, to be grateful for our feet. And then just move your attention slowly up into the ankle joints, noticing, is that a right angle? A little bit softer than that. Those bony prominences on the outer sides of each joint. Skin around them. The tendons flowing up from the heel, past the back of the ankle, up into the calf on each side. Narrow at the bottom, widening out as we come up towards the knee joints. Those two bones in each shin to the front of the knee and the kneecap. Are your legs straight or bent? Is there an angle there? Can you feel air or clothing, fabric around your skin? Maybe noticing then as we come along the upper legs towards the hip joints, another angle, these weight bearing joints not having to do anything at the moment, not walking or running or standing, getting to just rest for a while. Maybe you can feel the pressure of gravity through the sitting bones or the backs of your thigh bones, through the muscles, backs of the thighs and the buttocks, the skin and the clothes and the whatever you're sitting or lying on underneath your body. Might be firm or soft. You might notice perspiration or dry skin or a pulse there where there's a bit of pressure. And coming up into the torso. All these different parts of the body, these different labels, but all one body. Buttocks and the lower back, at the back, coming up past the hips and the pelvis, up into the waist, coming up through the groins, into the front of the abdomen and pelvis. Just noticing any movement there connected with the breath as the belly swells and subsides on the in and the out breath. Maybe you can, even though you're quite still, you can feel the body moving with the breath. All the way up to the rib cage, at the sides of the body and along the spine, the back of the rib cage up into the shoulder blades, the front of the body through the chest and the breastbone, all through the front of the rib cage, going out to the collarbones and the arms, those shoulder joints. Maybe you can feel your breath moving your arms gently, even though you're quite still. And there at the top of the torso, the neck, the column rising out, top of the spine, and the head resting poised on that. Maybe you've cut your hair or shaved your head, or maybe you've long hair. You can feel the air on your scalp or your hair on your scalp, or a soft breeze moving across the skin of your head, your forehead. Perhaps the mind is quieter now, or maybe even busier than at the beginning. It is what it is, this practice. I'm going to begin to bring this to a close. So keep your eyes closed for just a minute yet, and maybe gently begin to wriggle your toes or your fingers, just while I read you this poem called Invictus. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit, from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced or cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade. And yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. So maybe just gently drawing in a breath and rolling your shoulders, wriggling your fingers, having a stretch, maybe moving your legs if you're lying down, rocking from side to side before turning carefully, mindfully onto your side, taking care of your head and your neck as you gently perhaps begin to sit up. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here this evening. Been a pleasure to see you here and to share this practice. I hope it was just what you needed on this evening. And whatever you've gotten from it, if there's some self-kindness, I really encourage you to take that with you into the rest of your evening. Be gentle with yourself, kind to yourself and others, and yeah, aware, I suppose, of whatever heartbreak you're feeling for whatever reason, wherever you are, or that you know others are feeling wherever they are. Thank you so much. Lovely to see you all. And remember that course I mentioned at the beginning. It'd be great to have you there. I saw your little hand wave there, Maz. Oh, see you, Dermot, Kate, everybody. It's been great to have you here. See you next time. Hopefully Vidyamala will be here next week. Great to have you here this week. See you soon. Bye. You're very welcome. My pleasure. You're welcome. And remember, you'll be able to listen to this again on YouTube. The recording will be posted soon, so you can always come back to this if you want to another time. All the best. See you.